We want to pick up where we left off, Jake. When we finished up last week, we were talking about you going into treatment on November 10th, 1992, and then Bill Watts, your arch nemesis here, he announces you're gone from WCW the next day at a TV taping in Atlanta. But let's pick up with you. Like, what were your plans when you left WCW? Were you hoping to get back with Vince, or did you have plans outside of the country, or try your hand at independence professionally? What was your goal?
At the time, brother, the only goal I had then was, where's my dealer? Uh, it's true. I didn't care about anything else other than feeding my addiction. I had no plans at all. I mean, even my lawyer, whenever we settled with Turner for taking half my money, because I did get all that back, he's like, well, don't just get what they owe you. You need to get more than that, and you need to get your job back. I can get that for you. I'm like, I don't need it. How foolish was that?
Right.
Because ultimately, Turner would not have me back. And I understand that. I sued him. So all I wanted was the money they owed me, and that's all I took. But that doesn't get you a ribbon, and doesn't get you a job. It doesn't help your status at all. So no, I had no plans at all, man. It was such an angry time in my life because separated from my wife. I was spiraling down, and I had no idea just how far down I would go. Oh man, I went to hell and back, and I took my time doing it. Um, I'm so grateful that I didn't wind up in prison or dead. Some of the shenanigans that I pulled back then, oh my God, honey. Stealing a car in Puerto Rico so I can go to get some more dope, at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then when I get down to that area, guys are coming out of their houses with automatic weapons and telling me they're going to kill me. And I'm like, just give me my dope. That's all I want. And they recognized me, thank God, and said, Jake, you can't come down here at night. We don't do this. And I'm like, hey man, just give me my shit and let me go. They're like, okay, we're going to give it to you, but we're going to keep your car. I'm like, well, fine. Take the car. No, I don't have the.
I never heard that story.
Yeah.
There's a few of them though.
Yeah, well, not something I was proud of.
No, but you made that. You took a very serious, dark thing and made it fun.
Well, that's what I did, man. And if I hadn't been Jake the Snake, I can tell you dozens of instances where I would have been shot, cut, robbed. I mean, it's just horrible, man. When I look back and, those memories, unfortunately, don't go away. I wish I could tell you that I don't think about those things, but I do. I have flashbacks all the time that I remember the things that I did and horrible things. I didn't take it out on other people. I took it out on myself.
You beat yourself up
a lot. And I was so angry at myself, but I'd blown a career. I didn't know how to get out of it, and I wasn't ready to get out of it because I was just living in hate, and hate for my upbringing, hate for, you can blame it on anything you want, but bottom line, it comes down to you.
Mm.
And that's what I had to really get to, and they tell you that you won't change till you hit your bottom. Brother, I didn't hit the bottom. I went underneath the barrel, and I stayed for a long time. And, I did some independence and stuff, just so I could get more dough. That was all it was about, man. And, God, it's horrifying.
I gotta say this. Steve Yu sent me a text, and we're going to do this Motivational Monday for our DDP Yoga app. And it's a quote. And it says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Exactly. I'm sure it is.
Buddha.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I never bought from that guy. It is crazy though. Like the level of street cred that wrestlers have. Like, oh God, yeah. That you can go deep into any really bad area in the world. In whether it's, you know, black, white, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Mexican, doesn't matter. When you're one of us were lucky enough to live that dream and live at that elite spot for a while, you just get like this cred, and it knows no color or no, religion or ethnicity. It's really crazy. And that's why Jake is, I always said, if the cat's got 9 lives, a snake's got 13.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But they aren't fun. And that's the thing that I want to get out there, that you have no idea how low you will go. And once you're there, it's so hard to get out, because who the hell's going to help you? Because 30 days or 90 days in a rehab does not fix you. I'm living proof of that. And so it's not all. I mean, I've been to several rehabs and it did not work. And the reason it doesn't work, and this is just my thoughts, is they take you in and basically you're locked up. And no, you're not going to get any drugs in, and did try though. But at the end of 90 days, they pat you on the back and they give you a certificate and wish you good luck. And then you walk outside and it's the real world again. And you've been in a hole for 90 days, not making any money. And now you got every lawyer that you know chasing you. You got the cops chasing you because you haven't paid your child support. You've got your rent people that want their 3 months of back rent. So they're throwing your stuff out on the street. Your car's been repossessed. Now where does your mind go? Right back to the dope, because that's the only thing that will erase all this pain. And that's what it's all about, is the pain. You don't want to feel it no more. You don't want to feel the pressure no more. You don't want to feel any of it anymore. You just want utopia, man. Peace.
Well, I've got to say that I think that the amount of time you did spend in a rehab, I think that each time it stuck a little bit better, because we would have never been able to do what we did if you didn't have some sort of background in what they do teach to a certain.
I don't know, Dallas. I don't know. The whole thing with you was you took care of me financially, so I didn't feel the push on that, because I stayed with you for over 2 years.
Yeah.
Close to 3.
Yeah.
But if you'll remember, I was still screwing up 6 months or a year into it. And if I would have been on the street and not paying my bills, I would have felt all that pressure and I would have felt all that need. But no, I was living in a beautiful house, eating the best food on the planet and living clean. My body appreciated it. Then, when we started working out, I went from not being able to do jack squat to actually being able to do some of the workouts.
Right.
And that gave me self-respect. I started to like myself because I was able to do things again. I didn't think I would ever be able to do a workout. Ever. Because I'd trashed my body so much with the drugs and the alcohol. I ballooned up to over 300 pounds. And, it was horrifying, man. And when you get down like that, man, how do you get back up? And if not for not only Dallas, but it's still everybody. Dylan, Garrett, some of the guys, everybody but
Linda,
the L word. And, they all picked me up and they all loved me. They liked me. And at first that was hard to take, because I thought they were full of shit. How do you guys care about me when I'm just a piece of crap?
now let's go back to where where he was talking where you didn't have a direction. If you have no purpose,
Had no purpose at all.
you know, that you have nothing. So that's why, you know, you've always got to develop some sort of goal or some sort of purpose.
My dreams all died.
Right.
I pissed them all.
Yeah. And the thing that was really interesting to that who knew that this would happen 20 years before this? So I told my rotator cuff and I'm out. And he called, he ended up calling me and seeing how I was doing. And I went to see him at the Marriott and, and to bring him in, we helped each other. And he started doing your independent bookings. And
Yeah.
Jake Roberts could make a lot of money at an independent booking because there was no name out there.
Right.
Like WWE releases people all the time now, so
Back then,
there was no Jake the Snake Roberts. Fought not Warrior, but he didn't work.
No.
He didn't work. But you were out there. And in the beginning, when we were together, there was a lot of good things that were happening, but
not without you guaranteeing these people that I'd be there.
right.
That's the only reason a lot of these guys hired me, man, because Dallas stood up and said, look, he's clean now. I'm watching him. We're going to send something.
You're going back to when, a couple years back.
Yeah,
8 years ago.
Right, but sorry, I moved forward.
Yeah, you went too fast. But right, because when you did move in the second time, after a while, it was like, no, don't take any bookings right now. Let's just get right. And then I can tell people, because I ain't telling anybody's doing good.
This is true.
For him, like we go back to when we were doing those independent shows, and just to show you what kind of spot Jake was really in, one night I saw him pop like a pill in his mouth and chew it up. And I said, dude, did you just take a Percocet and chew it up? And he said, yeah. I go, why would you do that? They taste like shit. And he's like, well, he said, they got to go right to your system. You chew them up, it goes right to your brain and it just activates faster. And I said, well, how many is that, man? Because I see you take a couple. He said, I don't know, 9, 10, and that was like at 9 o'clock at night, and we were just like, we were going out and drinking. And then back then I could give him positive energy. I could give him the attention of the who he really is as he would be that I saw. But there's still times where he's going to go off and do his thing. And 20 years later, I would have way more respect from him on the level from what he helped me to be able to do. So we were equals at that point.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I think was really important, but back when you were just doing the independent scene, man, it was a tough road, man.
I was popping the pills, man, and working and not having a problem with. See, people understand an addict, man. When an addict gets a hold of drugs, they treat him differently than they do a normal person because our wiring is completely burnt, burnt beyond recognition. So things that will put you to sleep make me wake up. Normally somebody takes 4 or 5 Percocets, they sleep for a day and a half. Me, I take 4 or 5 Percocets, I can drink a case of beer, a few shots of whiskey, and walk straight line.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's insane, man. And insanity doesn't work for law. Not for law.